It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the New York Jets and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's coming up next.
Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Zerline now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Hurts throwing right away. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This is 2nd and 8. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
The slot man in motion right. Here's Hurts to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
3rd and 5. Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, Every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
A 36-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Let's face it, when you have a guy who can pick up those types of runs and keep the chains moving or stay ahead of the chains, you're making everyone else on offense happy because you're opening things up to allow for a whole lot of different play calls.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. He dumps this one off here to Hall. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Here's Rodgers. He gets it underneath to Hall. And he is going to have a Jets first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on third down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Rodgers now to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll run with Hall. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start with the option. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. There was Will McDonald bursting in there and making that play. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Hurts. Oh, he's going to look downfield for Barkley. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. That one downfield for Dotson. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jahan Dotson, 55 yards. And the Eagles are able to add on to that lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the #1 thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go as we saw there.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Now Hall to start the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. To throw is Rodgers. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Straight ahead is Hall. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On first down, right back to Hall. To the 36-yard line, stop there.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down at 7. Hall again. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Rodgers going to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 14. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Hall on to give up the middle. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the football as they've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They fake the give. Now Rodgers steps away. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Rodgers. And he's going to go down again. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room. Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback. After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. They'll throw now on the final play. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
A 44-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The Eagles were led in the first half by their dynamic quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now it's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 4. And again, it's Rodgers. On the out route, this is Adams with a catch. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's a give to Hall. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Here's Hall again. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Rodgers to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Forced out to his left. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Aaron Rodgers taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jets have cut it back within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
3rd down and 6. Here's Hurts to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Taken in at the 22. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Jets will take over. The Jets offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And a check down, complete to Hall. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down. Throwing is Rodgers. Dancing to his left. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Past the 20. He's got the first down and then some. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great play there. 44 yards. And the Jets have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 3rd-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Now an option play on 2nd down. A little juke, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And some room to work. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain there makes it first and goal. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
And I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Jermaine Johnson credited with that sack. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on first and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal?
Hurts going to keep it running right.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Being chased out left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Jalen Hurts.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. But plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10
at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete to Lazard. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
To throw is Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Rodgers to throw once more. Caught. It's Wilson. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here.
Well, you don't have to beg the Philly faithful to make noise. On their feet for third down. And that one too wide and incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Where will the pressure come from? 4th and 6 now.
Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. That is caught, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. 4th down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Now Rodgers. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a first down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Back to throw, Rodgers.
He dumps this one off here to Hall.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Here's 2nd down.
Rodgers to throw.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Flushed out right. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line.
Nice solid gain there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away.
And with time a factor here late, just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25.
This is 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts.
Quick hitter here. Complete.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Here's 1st down. Throwing is Hurts. That one downfield for Dotson.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
So it's the Eagles who will get the first chance to go down and find a winner as they'll get it here, and we are back underway. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hookup right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
Hurts.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, Gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now remember, again, a touchdown wouldn't win it just yet, but it can give them a big leg up. It's second down.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The former third overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. Well, we saw him score on the ground earlier in the ball game. This time, the defense says not so fast.
Yeah, that's good scouting and good awareness, isn't it? Because you always have to be wary of him keeping it himself, especially in this part of the field. Because if he doesn't like what he sees, you know he'll take off and try and go for it himself.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. They accomplish what they set out to do as they will take the lead here in overtime. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Elliott on for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards.
And it was Jahan Dotson with a touchdown catch to finish things off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
First throw of overtime for Rodgers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
They need a matching touchdown here to keep their hopes alive. Here's second down. That one into the hands of Adams downfield. And he's going to get into the end zone. They respond with a touchdown of their own. And now decision time. Down by 1 here in OT.
And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And his kick is good. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a